Welcome to Sideshow Con.
Hello everyone, I'm Guy.
And I'm Whitney.
And this is Sideshow Con, a week-long event where we're going to be taking a look at the latest and greatest in the world of pop culture right here at Sideshow.com.
Today we are going to be showing you guys some of the most fantastic pieces from Pokemon, Disney, Critical Role, and so much more.
So without further ado, let's take a look at today's showcase.
Hey everybody, I'm here with painters Chi Izuma and Katsupene, and we have the world premiere of Sideshow's very own Pokemon collection with the Pikachu life-size figure and the Charizard statue. Yeah. This is 5-year-old Amy's dream come true, and I'm so excited to talk to you about your work on these pieces. What was it like taking the two-dimensional and putting it into a three-dimensional sculpt, and in your case, doing the paint? Let's start with Chi and talk about Pikachu.
Pikachu is such an iconic character, so you kind of need to get the color right. So licensor provide us a Pantone color call-outs for the skin tone to cheeks, everything except the base. I was able to put some subtle shadows on the feet and under the arms, around the bottom parts of his legs, and around the ears. So, and of course in the little cheek. But it's very subtle. But that is, if you're staring at it enough, or maybe look at him from far away, you're able to see the actual where the shadow is at.
I mean, I see that red and instantly I look. Those are Pikachu's cheeks, and it's just so cute and so soft. And then we have Charizard, who has this dynamic pose, a lot of action going on here. So tell me about putting the colors onto that.
Yeah, so like Chi said, the licensor gave us Pantone colors for all the different elements of the character, from like the inside of the mouth, the tongue, to obviously just the base orange color. And he's got a little bit of shading as well, again, to just try to bring a 2D character into life without making it seem like a 3D animated character. We were really trying to keep it nice and flat, but with a little bit of depth, because it is a 3D character here.
Yeah, and then we've got some fun storytelling. Pokemon fans will recognize Charizard is using the flamethrower move, and we've got this kind of swirling flame base, almost like the battlefield is set ablaze. And there's different colors going on here, so tell me a little bit about those as well.
Yeah, so you have the two different kinds of flames. Basically, you have this flame which had Pantone color callouts as well, because it's part of Charizard. But then when it came to the mouth and the base flame, we really had kind of free reign to just make it look like fire. And so that was really a lot of fun, to keep the dynamic motion that the base has in the sculpture, but try to kind of push it a little bit further with the paint. So I was trying to kind of keep the core a little bit hotter with the yellows and oranges, and then cooling off to the tips with a little bit of magenta that I also just thought played well with the orange of Charizard.
I think it's to great effect. You did a really great job with that. And then we've got a really fun little environment base on Pikachu as well. So tell me a little bit about setting up these details.
We actually had a little freedom, his base, so I was able to pick the color for the grass and the dirt. So I'm able to add in like shadings and the highlights, even like the dirt has a little more detail, those speckles, and the rocks have a little dry brush. I was able to add in extra details. It was kind of fun.
Thank you ladies so much for being here. It was so awesome to talk with you about these pieces. And I'm sure everyone at home is just as excited as I am to see them here. If you want to find out a little bit more about the Sideshow collection, we'll be doing life-size figures, statues, and dioramas. So stay tuned and find out more information at side.show/con.
This is the cutest Stitch I've ever seen in my entire life.
Now Whitney, this is a figure I can relate to. By Hot Toys, it is the Stitch figure. Oh, it is so gosh darn cute, you're right. When did you first meet Stitch, other than today?
Other than right now, this little guy. I first fell in love with Stitch when it very first came out, all the way in the early 2000s. I was also obsessed with the animated series. I have all 629 cousins' names memorized, and I would kill for a whole collection of these little guys. It is incredible. I'd put them all over my house.
It is so cute, it's so adorable, it's so huggable. The soft fur over the entire fully posable body. That's right, Hot Toys, gives you fully posable figures, and Stitch is one of those. You can do so much. Right now, he's standing at about 15 inches, depending on how you adjust the ears, but you can even have him down, crouched on all fours.
I would say he's the perfect snuggle size.
Absolutely. Snuggle size, Whitney, that is how we're going to be describing that. Hashtag snuggle size. Talking about that posability, Even the mouth and ears are gonna move on this, so you can have any type of expression, as well as some pretty cool accessories like arm floaties and fashionable sunglasses as well. Whitney,
And
check
talking
out the
about
swap out hands.
expressiveness, I love this little peace sign. This is so cute. He obviously needs this when he's going surfing. And one of my other favorite things actually is just all of the details that you can see on the mouth. Sounds a little weird, but his tongue is so realistic for the tongue that you see in the animated show and in the live action.
It's got a texture to it, doesn't it?
It has like an actual texture. You can picture yourself getting licked by this strange alien creature.
I love it. I cannot wait to have it as part of my collection. I know you're going to get one too.
Obsessed,
and you can
yes.
find out all of the information about the Hot Toys Stitch figure by going to side.show/con.
Hey everyone! It might not be Thursday yet, but I'm here with fellow critter Anna Van Slee as we're here to talk to you a little bit about the newest additions to our Critical Role collection here at Sideshow. Let's go over here because we are taking a closer look at some new formats to the line, including a functional dice tower and publishing.
So this is A Decade of Destiny in reference to Happy Anniversary Critical Role. We represent all of the statuary we've made to date throughout the book, along with really cool behind the scenes insights from the cast and crew about character development and how that really played into the statue design and development. Lots of beautiful prose written by none other than our beloved Amy Chase.
Thank you.
It's a really great read. There's also a few sneak peeks at some upcoming unreleased product as well.
You're also going to get a really cool foreword by Travis Willingham, and the cover is a beautiful original design by Jordan Torrance, who is the Critical Role graphic designer. I was so excited to get to talk to not only Sideshow artists who I know and love, but also the cast and the crew at Critical Role about what goes into a collaboration like this. And being so successful for 10 years and having more than 5 years worth of stuff to put out as collectibles, it was such a cool collaboration, and I think fans need to get this piece. Going from publishing to functional gaming collectibles, because here we have the Xhorhaus Dice Tower. Check that out. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, Critical Role is so much more than just the characters. It's all of Exandria, it's the enchanted locations, just like their headquarters in Mighty Nine. We wanted to bring that into the statuary collection as well, but we're also a bunch of gamers. I wanted to represent that on our gaming table with our RPG miniatures. So this is not a specific scale, but it does look really nice.
That's such a unique addition. I mean, it looks great on a shelf. It would look great on a gaming table.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so beautiful.
The paint job is my favorite thing about this piece because we wanted to capture that kind of perpetual twilight, the glowing fairy lights, and that tree, which is, just not a thing. So I think it's a beautiful addition to the collection. And for those of you that are wondering, I did roll a 1.
Ooh.
So we've talked a little bit about the original collection with the cast of characters. We've talked about some magical locations. And now it's time to talk about some NPCs. And we have an awesome assortment of heroes, villains, and thirst traps.
I mean, you mentioned how fully fleshed out the world of Exandria is, and one of those important factors in any adventure is the characters who help or hinder the heroes along their way. I'd love to start here with Allura. It's such a beautiful representation of her as a member of the Tal'Dorei Council, looking great in a collection with the Vox Machina characters, but she does, interact with other characters from other campaigns. So how did we choose this version of her?
I mean, that was a lot of internal debate, whether we go with some of her younger form or if we wanted to make her braids silver and go with one of her older, wiser, more wizened versions. But we felt like since she is supposed to go with the Vox Machina collection, we'd go with that version, and maybe we'll do a variant later on. But we have a lot of purple muscle-bound characters for the rest of our
What was going on in campaign 2 and the hovering? Let's talk about a character that I know people have been asking for ever since we first debuted with the Mighty Nine collection. We've got Essek Thalis right here. This is everybody's favorite hot boy, and he is here as an ally to the Mighty Nine. He has some reformed villainy to him, but we get him here as a confident spellcaster. I love that we get a little bit of his Dunamancy magic going on here. But tell me about, the hovering is essential to him, but how did we do this?
It's a really cool suspension gag with his cape, so obviously fully sculpted, and it kind of lays on the back of the base there. It's just a real kind of a nice touch. You look at the character and you look again when you realize he's levitating. Also, he pairs nicely with the Xhorhaus. So
yes, he does.
A little synchronicity there.
Also with Caleb, if you already have Caleb in your collection.
Some shipping.
Yes. Critters love their shipping as much as they love villains and terrifying encounters. We've got the penultimate form, because he has an even bigger form.
Yes.
I don't think we could represent that as a collectible, but this is Lucian the Neo Sumnovum from the climax of the Mighty Nine campaign. This is incredible. We've got the 9 eye stalks, the eyes of 9. And it's cool to see kind of, a similarity with Molly Mock, but obviously this is a very distinct version of the character.
Very much so, and you'll notice subtly, we did make the base a different tone for the villain and any forthcoming villains as well. It's got a little extra cracking in there. He's also kind of levitating in more of an attack pose so that you can pose him with your Mighty Nine collection as they're about to fight it out.
Now we've discussed some purple characters here, getting really colorful, really fun, but the rainbow of villainy, let's call it, extends far beyond that in Exandria, especially in the form of the Chroma Conclave. And here we have a fine art print by artist Livia Prima, who was previously featured in the Critical Role collection with Percy DeRollo, Manifestation of the List.
I mean, obviously Thordak jumps out at you first, right across the top, everyone's favorite Cinder Dragon. Also pairs very well with the new Allura statue in terms of backstory.
It's almost like we create these things knowing that they go together very, very well.
But yes, all 5 dragons are well represented. Obviously something we'd love to explore in statuary someday, but for now this is probably the best way that we can capture all 5.
It would be quite a feat to bring all the dragons together. We of course have Raishan here, we've got Voragol, Umbrasyl, and Brimscythe completing the quintet. Just a really cool representation, and you guys are looking at the Giclée version of the print. This is an open edition art print as part of our collection, but there is a highly limited HD aluminum variant, so you can bring home the Chroma Conclave on Chroma Lux metal. Well, that is all for our Critical Role segment today, but we do have more to show you. Thank you so much for joining me here, Anna. I'm so excited that we got to take a look at all these pieces together.
Thank you for having me.
Now, if you're looking for any more information about Sideshow's Critical Role collection, one, we encourage you to pick up A Decade of Destiny, the Critical Role collection by Sideshow book, but you can also go to side.show/con for all the information.
Amy, where were you in 1983?
Guy, I wasn't alive yet.
Well, I was in the arcade playing the biggest game of 1983, Crystal Castles. And here it is by New Wave Toys, part of the Replicade line, and it's in 6 scale.
This is such an amazing Replicade release, but I want to focus on that Atari cabinet.
Yes, this is a fully playable cabinet, and every detail of the original now in 6 scale. From the cabinet to the rollerball.
We're seeing the Hall of Fame right there.
Exactly. Get your name on the high score board. All of it down to the sounds, the graphics, the playability, all the original.
I'm looking at this with the little trackball. You've even got the tiny little instruction panel on the front with the rules of the game, and then those really great buttons there. They have such a nice tactile feel to them.
You got your coin slot on the front, but then on the back, you've got your lock that they've gone and replicated. But more importantly on the back is a feature that I love about collecting these cabinets. There's an HDMI output, so I can plug that into a large screen TV or a monitor, so I can get that game fully up on there. Also, I can use another controller. Okay, so if you have a controller that you're pretty familiar with, those can be used with this as well, making the game a little bit more fun to play.
I think that's a great intersection between modern gaming and classic recreations. But, I wasn't growing up in the video arcades, but I did go to the boardwalk a lot, and they had a lot of attractions. And one of the biggest ones that I remember always being there is skee ball, just hearing the alarms going off and watching people roll the balls.
Watch that light go. Now, you're looking at the prototype for the skee ball machine. Okay. You said this was one that you played, so talk us through the playability factor on this.
So with the skee ball machine, you're also going to have a selection of balls that you can roll up the chute, these nice little metal balls, but because I'm older and wiser, I can just reach up here and drop it in.
Well, Amy, that is cheating. But yes, when you win at this game, it's going to light up here on the scoreboard as well as the light, and it's going to dispense tickets.
Oh, great. Can you take them to like a 6-scale prize redemption
I'm sure
station?
there must be a 6-scale prize redemption center. But to learn more about that, as well as more from Replicade, make sure to go to side.show/con.
We have a couple more really exciting things to show you guys. And I'm not gonna lie, it might get a little strange around here, but don't worry, you're not doomed. Here we have this amazing Marvel Rivals poster.
This is by Johnny Caballero. This is the Marvel Rivals Eternal Night Falls fine art print. And we are so excited to have this here to show you guys. But I know that Johnny was really excited when he was approached to do this piece because he had already put over 100 hours into the game when we asked him to do this.
Oh my gosh, you can really tell that's how detailed this is. All of the little Easter eggs, all of the references that he included. I also love this gorgeous double matte board that this is on. The frame looks amazing, the colors, the shapes, I'm obsessed.
Yes, this is the framed edition of the fine art print, which you can find on our website. And one of my favorite details about like the style of the game he captured is the chromatic aberration, or kind of the fake style there with the pink and the blue that creates that almost blurred 3D effect. And then of course we've got Marvel favorites like Doctor Strange, the Fantastic Four, and their villains Dracula and Doctor Doom. Who'd have thought? Now, it's a big year for the Fantastic Four, so it's cool to see them here. But speaking of big, we've got a massive figure here in the studio. This is the Hot Toys Venom from Spider-Man 2.
This is truly larger than life. I did not realize how big this was gonna be in person. It's incredible.
And it's still a 6th scale figure, so that's one of the things that Hot Toys does with taking characters who don't have a normal comparable scale. You can't just go and meet your neighbor Venom, but you can see your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man if you have any of the other Hot Toys releases, all those really cool alternate suits they did for Peter Parker and Miles Morales, and this guy's like almost twice as big as them.
I really love that they went so accurate with that sizing because he is gonna look cool as heck on my shelf next to all the tiny Peter Parkers.
Yes, and we've got all of those really cool symbiote details. These are parts you can add to the figure to really determine how drippy and gooey you want him to be, which, with Venom, the gooier the better.
And something that I love about this so much is that it comes with so many different tongues that you can use to customize your Venom.
Yeah, you've got the swap out mouths and teeth, which is essential for Venom, but if it came with any other character, you'd kind of be scratching your head about that. But I think it's perfect for the villainous Venom. As someone who's playing through this video game right now, I love seeing how closely they realized him from the screen to my shelf.
This is so exciting. We have so much more stuff to show you. Right over here, we have this collection that I think is gonna have a little something for every video game fan.
I'm looking at a trio of massively popular games. Let's start over here with Fallout.
I love that this is actually a bobblehead.
Yes, indeed. This is the Vault Boy bobblehead from the fine folks over at Gaming Heads, and of course, the people of Vault Tech. And this is specifically based on the Vault 76 design. You've got the sign on the back of his jumpsuit there. And like other bobbleheads that you'll find when wandering the wasteland, this one's the charisma perk, so he will give you a bonus to your charisma if you have him in your collection.
That's for Fallout. Now over here we have Lilith. She is from Blizzard's cinematic announcement for the new Diablo 4 game.
This is such a cool piece. I love all of Blizzard's announcements are super spectacular and memorable, but in this one, she's swimming through this creepy membrane of skin and flesh as she's emerging into Sanctuary, and I mean, she's the mother of hatred herself.
So bloody, so drippy, so gorgeous. I really, really love that she has like a translucency to her. You can kind of see my hand going on back there. It looks like it is going to last forever. It is a strong piece, but at the same time, it has that delicacy that fine art does.
Just a beautiful centerpiece, especially if you are a Diablo 4 fan. But now we're gonna take it from hell to a helmet with the premium Cade 6 replica helmet from Numbskull.
I love the weather texture on this. It looks so scuffed up, so realistic. I mean, if you're seeing that action, you're gonna get a couple of scratches on your helmet.
Yeah, of course. And we've got all of the intricate detail of Cade 6's design from Bungie's Destiny title. And we've got some mixed media elements with the fabric hood, and there's some logos and decals on that as well.
But besides being washable, it's also wearable.
Yeah, not only will it look great on your shelf, it will look great on you because this is a premium cosplay replica. It is a half mask that is wearable with that washable fabric hood.
That is so cool. I am definitely getting one of these for Comic-Con.
I love functional pieces of art that you can interact with, and you can use this or any of the other pieces we discussed today to fully immerse yourself in the world of your favorite video games. So if you want to take a closer look at any of the pieces we featured on today's show, go to side.show/con.
From our partners at Prime One Studio, we look in the world of gaming. We can't get much bigger than a 3rd scale Thor from God of War.
This is massive. He has such an imposing presence. I am obsessed with this. I love how much intricate detail is in all of his clothing. It really looks like he's wearing clothing made out of like 7 different fabrics.
And all of that sculpted and painted, all of those different textures. Then they amp it up by adding the faux fur, and even the cape, hand-stitched together and weathered. We get a little bit of that scroll work down on the lower edge of it. Absolutely beautiful what he is wearing.
It is so cool, especially this really detailed, delicate stitching on the cape. I absolutely love that, but we also have to talk about this base, because this is massive too. The fact that they added this little bit of like glitter sparkle to it so that it really looks like freshly fallen snow.
You're getting that cold.
So cool. You can feel the cold coming off of it with that shimmer.
All of the ice and snow all over it, and it all kind of covers over a bit of a Nordic element. We're seeing those small statues in front, and there's even a large carving in the back, and then we're bringing some life into it with those birds kind of fleeing. There's a lot going on.
This is the most elegant version of Mjolnir I have ever seen in my life. There are these beautiful little carvings all in the side of this. There's gorgeous runes, the gold filament on the handle. It's elevated. It's an elevated version of a classic hammer that we have seen done hundreds of times.
And to take a look at his journey, that portrait tells so much of his story. This is a very different take that they did in God of War, and it shows on there kind of that pain, that struggle, but the determination to continue with it. Now, I have one more piece. Yes. You've got to come and see this. From Witcher 3, it is Triss Merigold. Alternate outfit. This is the way to dress.
Oh, I'm glad she has an alternate outfit, because otherwise I'd be stealing this one. The teal, the gold, it is so beautiful. All of the little intricate details in her dress, the way that the paisley is perfectly carved in there, it is just stunning.
There's an elegance even to the stance that she has, to the adornment there in the hair. It's absolutely beautiful. And in this kind of tranquil area, we talk about the base telling the story. We get that hand carved with the wood there, but then the fountain, and so much movement going on with that.
The fountain just has so much life to it. I love that each of these little beautiful individually carved pieces of water that are coming down, they culminate into this bubbling, swirling little circle of water right here, and it looks like you could turn this fountain on.
Yeah, it's a sculpted element that has life, and you almost feel the movement in there. It's absolutely beautiful. These 2 pieces are stunning, and you can learn more by going to side.show/con. You've been watching the first showcase here at Sideshow Con.
We hope you enjoyed everything you saw today, but that's not all. We'll be showing you stuff all week long, so be sure to follow our social media channels, our official YouTube, and you can find everything at side.show/con.
Thanks for watching, and until tomorrow, don't forget to let your geek
Sideshow.